Hi, you've tuned in to Single, Celibate, and Unemployed. And I'm your host, Lacien Safari. And today's topic is dating while unemployed. And so, some people think it's very controversial, a little touchy topic, and for some it's an obvious no. However, I'm going to give you some tips to dating while unemployed. Tip number 1, be honest. Be honest. Be honest. Be honest that you're unemployed. And just be. That way, it just wipes out all the awkwardness, the lies and hoops you have to jump through. And also, for those who are dating someone who's unemployed, ask questions, and a lot of them. And one question is, why are you unemployed? So that's simple. And for many reasons, people can be unemployed. Some are in college, grad school, med school, getting their PhD, 1, 2, 3s, those people that live in school. And then you have others who have been laid off, fired, they quit. Some are in career exploration mode. And definitely you'll find the ones who are just lazy and unmotivated. And in all, you realize that sometimes people just want to put a pause in their lives. Sometimes life chooses, and other times life chooses for you. So even in regards to me being unemployed per se, I was on fitting model, or being a fit model.
Correction is for about 2.5 years.
And I literally only had to show up to work and maintain my weight. But in doing so, or the environment, I didn't want to be there anymore. And so it was just more of, I know what I didn't want. I just didn't know exactly what I wanted, if that makes sense. We know the don'ts and the nots in our lives. Like, I don't want this, I don't want that. But when you really ask someone, what do you want? Sometimes you get a big question mark and a pause, like, what do I want? And so I ended up quitting my job and literally was on my couch and while watching TV, 2 a.m. in the morning, because I'm not really a TV watcher, but I ended up just being still and taking time to find out what I want. And in doing so, I ended up taking acting classes and I ended up doing background work for different shows. So again, people can be unemployed for various reasons. And the key is to ask questions. Wow. So, tip number 2. And I'm going to get close for this one. So, know that your net worth is not your self-worth. And I'm going to say that one more time. Know that your net worth is not your self-worth. And when people really understand that, they will begin to step outside of the idea that they cannot date. Or they step outside of the idea or the thought that, oh, now I can only date a certain person, a financial bracket. If they get a promotion, now their status in dates tend to rise. And if they get fired, it's like, oh no, now I'm only limited to this bracket of individuals. So when you truly understand that your net worth is not your self-worth, you begin to put more value in who you are and develop yourself as a person, not just what your bank account has. And to be honest, you will find people that won't date you because you are unemployed. And keep that in mind. That is okay as well, because everyone in life has a choice. And to think that someone's not open-minded, oh, you don't want to choose me because I'm unemployed. No, respect their choice in saying that. And it doesn't take away from who you are as a person. Just as how you have a decision, they have a decision as well. And be okay with knowing that it does not take away from your self value, from who you are, and what you can contribute to society and to the lives of others. So, remember, as you're stepping out to date, it's know that your net worth is not your self worth. Tip number 3. So, do not date potential. And then you're probably wondering, like, Lacien, you told me to date someone who's unemployed, but you're telling me not to date someone that has potential? No, I'm saying don't date the potential. And I'll give an example. Think of potential energy and kinetic energy. Think of a rock at the top of a hill that's not moving. It has the potential, if someone pushes it, to roll down the hill. And in regards to that, yes, people have potential. But if it's not in motion, it's just potential. And people make a mistake of talking to people, dating individuals, like, I see so much in them. Oh my gosh, she has the potential to do so much. Women. And at the same time, be mindful that you want potential energy that's actually kinetic energy. Okay? So now potential is in motion, that's called kinetic energy. So you want someone that, despite being unemployed, it's more of, are they in motion? Yes, they may not have a job. And again, ask questions as to why. And even despite that person being unemployed, it's more so if they have kids, are they taking care of their kids? If they are siblings, who are they as a person? So again, get to know the person you're dating. And let's be straight. People tend to fall for looks and sex and do not properly vet the person they truly desire in their life. So again, I will not stress this enough. Ask questions and do not date potential only. All right? Keep it in mind. And so you decide to say, you're the one to date an unemployed person. Understand they are not your special projects. And that individual needs to take the steps to get to where they want to in life. And as the old saying goes, you can lead a donkey to water, but you can't make them drink it. And people have to be mindful that you can't mold them, you can't change a person. And you working on your life, and you are trying to work on their life, that becomes exhausting and overwhelming. And you're like, oh my gosh. So now you become this nagging person that's trying to change someone. No. All you are is to encourage them in getting to where they want to go in life. That's simple, that explains it, and that is it. So if they don't want it, that's up to them. You can't want something for someone who doesn't want it. They have to want it for themselves. And make sure their words matches with their actions, because you will have big talkers and they're like, yes, I'm up to this. Yes, I want to create this. You're like, oh my gosh, I found a good one. And then you realize it was potential. So make sure their action lines up with their words and their words with their actions. So in doing so, you have a clear understanding that this person is actually wanting to do something with their lives. Got it? Got it. Good. Number 5, be honest with yourself. What are you really looking for? Are you looking to get to know someone, or are you looking for a free meal? And I'm not saying either's wrong. I mean, I've done them both. But the point is, it's more of find out what you're really looking for. It's, okay, the guy can't provide you with the fancy dinners. All right. But are you willing to go out on a coffee date? Are you willing to go out for lunch? So it makes sense before you even meet in person to have a conversation and then be like, hello, be like, who are you? So what's your goals? What are your aspirations? Like, what do you want? And things of that nature. So it's definitely have a conversation with the person first and foremost, maybe several conversations over the phone before you even go on a date. And by doing so, it's less chances that your representative shows up, but you probably get the genuine person to show up and you guys can connect. And some people are like, what do you mean your rep? You know that when you try to get to know someone for the first time, you are on your best behavior possible. You're doing things you're like, oh my God, that surprises yourself. That's your rep. So, in saying that, get into conversations, get to know the person, and when you do go on this date, you'll most likely be comfortable. Already mentioned that you're unemployed. And definitely go to museums. You can go to parks depending on the weather. You can go coffee dates, lunch. Some banks have different discounts on events, things of that nature, of the arts. Definitely find things that are not as expensive. So definitely you're gonna put some work into it either way. At the same time, you are getting to know the person and not just the person's bank account. So invest time, not money. And when you invest time, it's gonna be even more worth it. I am gonna leave you with a challenge. And this challenge is a $20 date and get to know someone. So definitely, I'm not saying spend the $120 just to get to know them. You can have conversations, but use that as maximum amount for your date. So $20 challenge date. Thank you for tuning in to Single, Celibate, and Unemployed. And stay tuned for what's next.